Ayuk right, they motion McCaffrey, backwards pass to McCaffrey, and he's going to throw downfield wide open. Brandon Ayuk, touchdown! San Francisco! He can run, he can catch,
is on fire!
Christian McCaffrey can throw! Schultz to the other, going to throw out left, intercepted! Diamador Lenore!
Whoa,
Dak
what a
Prescott
play!
just threw him the ball on the outcut going left to CeeDee Lamb. Diamador Lenore comes up with the game's first big play. Here's Prescott back, has time, throws out left, intercepted. Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner. Jimmy Ward tipped the ball, and Fred Warner with the INT. They're going to give it to McCaffrey coming left. McCaffrey, touchdown! San Francisco! He has thrown one, he has caught one, he has run one.
What's good, everybody? The San Francisco 49ers just got their faces handed to them by the Arizona Cardinals. They lose 24-23. It's a crazy game. 10-point lead, fourth quarter debacle, and the Niners just couldn't figure out a way how to close out this game and be victorious. I think what's most important is that they fall 2-3 overall record, which is salvageable. But the issue is, will they win the division? And these are questions we're going to have to start asking ourselves moving forward, because they're 0-2 in the division and they're 0-3 in the conference. And we're here to react, overreact, instant react, however you want. This is what this show is all about. Peachy, I know you're feeling some type of way, so let's get it out. You know, let's get it out. What's going on? How you feeling about this team right now, moving forward?
First off, what I would like to say before I get into it is my apologies to all of the fans that went and sat in that massive heat and went through what they went through to watch this game today. Because from what the people that were at the game were telling me, it was beyond hot. Like, it was hotter up in the bleachers, in the stands. And so my condolences to everyone that was out there. I hope everybody's okay. I hope there's nobody, who, had an issue with the heat, like, passed out or, dizzy or anything like that. That's the first thing that I want to say. Because at the end of the day, the fans who go to these games and pay all this money and travel across country and do all these things and have to sit through things like that. It was embarrassing. I literally put it on social media. What an embarrassing loss. I'm sorry. It was the second most embarrassing loss, because we just had one to another divisional opponent, the Rams, which was also embarrassing. The only difference is that they weren't sitting in scorching heat temperatures to watch this team just completely fall apart. I am worried about this team. Breezie asked maybe last week or whatever what the whatchamacallit was, the comfortability rating or something, like maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure what it was, but whatever it was, he asked. Mine right now, my comfortability rating from 1 to 9 to 10 to it's 11. It is an 11. Guys, these games right now that we are like, this part of our schedule was not supposed to be like this. We haven't even gotten through the tough meat, what I feel like, of our schedule yet. We not even got there yet. These games that we're losing are absolutely ridiculous, because they're winnable games. The only one that was in question for being winnable was the Vikings. Other than that, the Rams and the Cardinals, come on now. Like, we should have both of those. The Rams are missing so many people. The Cardinals are just not really that good. Before the game, I put this out. I said, after watching the Jets and watching us beat the Jets and the Patriots, I put out there something like, are the 49ers a good team? Like, when are we going to find out if this team is good? Because honestly, we ain't played nobody that we've beat yet. It's ridiculous. I just don't think that this team is good. I don't know why it's not good. But if you can't finish games, you ain't good. You're not good. Because you have to be able to finish games to put a W up there. And we can't do it. Some kind of way we managed to fall apart and do something stupid. And it's absolutely ridiculous. Breezie had brought up that we need to be able to win gritty games, that all these teams that come out and they win these tough games and everything end up with a win. Like, we're not gritty because we don't have any grit. It's gone. I don't know where it went to, but the heart's gone. The grit's gone. Like, what is it? And no, it's not just because Christian McCaffrey's not here, because he's not this whole entire team. Mentally, this team is missing something. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if this team thought, looked at the schedule and on paper and was like, oh, you know what? We're going to do this and blah, blah, blah. I already saw somebody on social media saying maybe they overlooked this game because they knew they had a short game, or a short week, to play Seattle. But this is a divisional game, so there's no way that happened. All I'm saying is that these issues that we have on this whole entire team, not just the offense, every aspect of this team have to be more than just Christian McCaffrey. They have to be. And it is so heartbreaking because I've been a fan for so long and I've seen this team and I've seen gritty teams. Them Jim Harbaugh teams were no joke. They were gritty. We gritted out a lot of games and won them. And yes, we've won a lot of games with Kyle too, but we've also had a lot of easy games. Now it is time, when you come upon a situation where you are missing players or whatever is going on, you got to find a way to strap them up and win the game. 23-24? Come on. Something's going on. I don't know what it is. It is ridiculous. Brandon Ayuk was sensational today. And that was just ruined by that. And when Jennings was sensational, it was ruined by a loss. It's like our two games that we've had where these breakout players just came out and just balled out of control. And even like went in the record books and everything for Jennings. And then Ayuk, shutting up all the naysayers, and everybody was all quiet when nobody talking mess about him, during this game, the way he was playing, and we couldn't even get a win. It is getting really old, really fast. And I know, there's plenty of time, Christian McCaffrey will be back, and we'll be well, what if Christian McCaffrey comes back and nothing changes? Because mentally, there's something going on with these 49ers. I don't know what it is, but it's not looking good down the stretch. We pitched a shutout in the second half. We didn't score anything in the second half. There's a problem with that, guys. Look, and they have to say is y'all was all on Jake Moody. He was, God, he was just, blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying, okay, so Moody's gone. And now all I'm hearing is whining. Jake Moody had a bad, whatever, but you guys didn't want Jake Moody. You guys were like, any kicker can go out there and do what Moody does. I've seen it all on social media. So all I'm saying is is that you can blame it on the Madden curse. You can blame it on whatever you want to blame it on, whatever. But we got to figure out what it is because we got to grit out games. Thursday is another divisional game, and it's a must win. It was already a must win anyway, as far as I'm concerned. All divisional games are, but this game is a must win. We are losing it so bad in this division already. And like I said, we haven't even gotten into the meat of our real opponents yet that we're going to face. We got to figure it out. We just do.
Well, first of all, Super Chat feature has been, it's not here anymore. So right now the channel is demonetized. But if you do want to support the channel, there's the Cash App, the Venmo, or the PayPal. If you do want to support, and I'll post your chat up. Just tell me which one, and I'll put it up there. But you know, I think from an emotional standpoint, I think you gave it. You know how you felt about everything that's going on, and I think the faithful right now, like I think we're all questioning, not necessarily questioning like the faith that we have in this team, but faith without works is dead. You know what I'm saying? So people like to talk about the scripture, but they don't read the whole scripture. And so like, where's the work? Like they practice every day to do this, or they're unprepared when a team changes up something that they weren't ready for. And so like, they lost the 2 gritty games, in my opinion, to their divisional rivals because the divisional rivals were tired of getting their ass whipped. It's just what it was. They were tired of losing. And maybe the Niners were just unprepared. Like to not close out the game against the Rams on the road, to not close out the game against the Cardinals at home. The Niners were undefeated at home. I forgot. Now they're 1-1, 2-1. The only wins are at home. And they got a loss. So 1-1, it's ridiculous. So like at the end of the day, like the Niners, they got to figure out. I don't think they know what their identity is without Christian McCaffrey, because you keep saying you kept saying they with Christian McCaffrey he can't be, he is it. And I don't know if you understand what I mean when I say he's the it. He's not the end all be all for this team, but he's the reason why the offense is able to do so many things, because the defense has to prepare for so many things. When you take that away, his injury, the defenses are different. We're not getting Yak. We're not getting this. It's because the defenses no longer have to account for one of the most explosive weapons out of the backfield and spread out on the line as a receiver. And so you take that away, like it's a total different game plan from the defensive coordinators that have been playing against Kyle Shanahan. I don't know why we're all freaking acting like we're shocked this offense wasn't that great until we got Christian McCaffrey. We had great weapons, but then the moment Christian started understanding this offense, it started opening up. We started putting up all these points. We started spreading the ball out. We started to be able to do so many different things. I just feel like now Kyle's going to have to, this is why I'll blame Kyle Shanahan. This is what I'll blame Kyle Shanahan for. Kyle's going to have to do this. He's going to have to say, F Christian McCaffrey at this point. He ain't playing. He ain't here. He on the IR. I got to figure out how to change up some things. My offense isn't doing what I need it to do. And I saw a lot of dropbacks. Today, Brock Purdy dropped back he had 35 pass attempts. Now, the earlier games where Brock Purdy going to have to win, yes, but he was highly inefficient today. He was terrible. As far as efficiency, he was 19 for 30. He looked better than what he actually did on the football field, but, Kyle's going to have to find a way to get his guys and have them prepared a little bit slightly different, because these teams realize that the 49ers don't have what they normally would have. It's a different animal out there. Offensively, different animal. Now, defensively, I don't know. I don't understand the defense. I don't know what Nick Sorensen's idea or his philosophy is. I thought we were going to be violent. I watched us get beat up. Literally, got pushed back. I watched James Conner rush for 11 yards on a run blitz. You can't make that shit make sense to me. I watched him run for 11 yards and we blitzed to stop the run. And we just let him go. Oop, no, oop, no. Arm tackle, no. Like, that's not even mentality. That's just poor fundamentals. The team identity is lost. The coach's identity is lost. I think looking from a coaching perspective, I don't know what coaches are going to come out here and do what. If I can't get that from my coaches, I can't expect the players to perform well. If they're not set up in the best possible ways to perform well, I don't know what to say. Now, I do believe that the players do got to execute because they missed out on several opportunities. You can't say it's Kyle Shanahan's fault if the play calls get you to the red zone 6 times and you only score 1 touchdown. I don't know how the fuck that's Kyle Shanahan's fault. Like that can't be Kyle Shanahan's fault. Then your team has a mental fart on a couple of them series. You get penalties. That ain't Kyle Shanahan's fault. And then like it's just everybody's fault. It's the 49ers' fault that they're in this situation. The players, the coaches, the fans. I'm not apologizing to the fans. Y'all wanted to go to the game. Y'all took your asses to the game. Happy y'all went to the game. If you knew it was hot, shouldn't have went. At the end of the day, this team ain't going to come out and win every single game. Y'all know that. I be mad. Fuck, I was at the Super Bowl. We lost. Like, it sucked. I get it. But the team itself just ain't a team yet. Like, it's not. They're not together. They're not a band of brothers. They're not. You could tell because that, Peachy, is how you grit out and win games. When you're playing for one another opposed to playing for yourself, that's how you grit out and win games. That's when you pick your boy up and be like, all right, man, I see you slacking right here. I got you. I got a little extra energy. And then maybe that gives him a little extra energy. They just miscommunicating. There was one play. It was a third down. It was one play. And they just covered the wrong fucking guy. And they left Michael, whatever the fuck his name is, wide open. He's just wide open. Just sure. If a quarterback can't throw the ball to a wide open target, that's a problem. Kyler Murray's going to hit that every single time. First 2 plays of this game were explosive plays. First was a pass for 22 yards. The second was a touchdown run for 50 yards. Because the Niners players didn't execute. I can't blame that on Nick Sorensen. I watched Nick Bosa get faked the fuck out and went for the tackle on the running back instead of doing what? What's the edge job? Contain the edge. Nah, I'm not going to contain the edge. It's a run. He guessed wrong. Touchdown. Now, I do feel like the defense adjusted as the game went along. But in that second half, whatever Gannon's game plan or whatever that offensive coordinator was, they came out. They got some stuff to go in their favor, right? Because we turned the ball over. Let's just keep it a buck. That's what happened. We made mistakes. The difference between our mistakes and their mistakes is they capitalized off of our mistakes and we fumbled on their mistakes. Jordan Mason, why the fuck are you fumbling the ball, bro? Like you can't fumble the ball. You're in a position where you can literally take the reins. There's no Christian McCaffrey, and everybody is zoning on you. You can't fumble that ball. I don't care if they kicked you in the nuts. You can't fumble that ball.
He begged for this opportunity. Literally said that he stayed.
I don't know if he begged for it, but you can't fumble the ball. I don't a fuck if he begged, paid for it.
No, that's what
It don't matter.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
He can't fumble the ball. And if you're gonna give him a pass, hold on, I ain't finished. If you're gonna give him a pass, not you, I'm talking to y'all. If you're gonna give him a pass for fumbling the ball, y'all can kiss my ass. Because I watched receivers drop passes, y'all want them off the team. That fumble cost the 49ers the game.
It was bad.
The defense already knew we couldn't kick.
It was bad. They
knew we couldn't kick.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally right there where it's heaven in the end zone. And going down, he gets slapped in the face, and it must have hurt because it was the Donkey Kong punch. And he fumbles. Like, he can't fumble that ball. That right there. That right there. There were other situations, but that right there was another opportunity that the 49ers could have closed out the game. They were up by 2 points. That happened, and we knew. You knew, I knew, you knew, y'all knew. You knew the shit was over. It was nothing we could do about it because we knew time wasn't going to be on our side. Because now you're dealing with a more veteran quarterback and a Kyler Murray, and you don't know what he's going to do when he get the ball. Is he going to run it? Is he going to pass it? Is he going to run it? Is he going to throw it? Is he going to pass it?
Yeah.
And they did their thing.
So another thing that I didn't bring up yet, forgot to bring it up actually.
No, hold up, y'all. Hold up. First of all, I criticize any running back for fumbling the ball. So you can miss me with that shit. And if you want to leave, bye. You, as a running back, can't fumble the ball. You just can't.
We were literally
the difference between Christian McCaffrey's fumble.
Talked about
the
that,
difference between Christian McCaffrey's fumble and Jordan Mason's fumble was Christian McCaffrey fumbled so early that the Niners had opportunities and time to recover.
But we still addressed that though.
I know I did
100,000 times, as a matter of fact.
I know I did.
Yeah.
You can. So if y'all want to give him a pass for fumbling the ball, be my guest. But that's fucking, y'all the fakest fucking fans I've ever met in my entire life, yo. And you can unsubscribe, unclick, whatever. Don't be fucking fake. Fumble is a fumble. I shitted on him for fumbling. I'm talking about CMC. He had to be better.
Yeah.
But Jordan Mason and his moment, this ain't about fucking Christian McCaffrey. It's about Jordan Mason's moment. In his moment, he made a mistake, and it cost the Niners the game. My voice is gone because I sing for a living, and I had a rock wedding last night. But at the end of the day, players got to execute. And so, yeah, we could blame the coach. We could be mad at the coach. We could fire the coaches. But if you fire the coaches, that don't mean the players still going to execute. They got to execute. You get the ball, you got to execute. I don't care if you get hit by all 11 motherfuckers. You can't fumble the ball. Just like wide receivers can't drop passes, which we had a lot today. A lot of drop passes. A lot of them.
Yep. I think that one thing that what I was about to say is, I know a lot of people, I have this awesome new nickname. I'm a cow hater. Well, I'll be a card-carrying cow hater for this reason right here. Why is it that every coach that we played against that we've lost was able to adjust and maintain regardless of who they had? And it don't matter. If Kyle is going to be one of the best offensive play callers in this damn league, then he has to adjust. I'm going to put it on him every single time. I don't care who has a problem with it, because he has been in this league for too long to watch a lot of things that are going on. It is unacceptable at this point. It's so unacceptable and so frustrating where he is getting out-coached in these games. And what I mean by out-coached is not adjusting. Like, why are you not adjusting? What is it? Every time that there's that we have a show or something, or you're watching somebody's show, they say, what happened is the other coach and staff, they adjusted, which is what the Cardinals did today. He adjusted in the second half. I don't understand why it's not happening.
I think it's easier when you're losing to make the adjustments and see the adjustments. You know what I'm saying? So because you're the team that's trying to come back. So when you see going back to this game though, there was certain events that just went their way. Like we turned the ball over and they took advantage of it. So it wasn't necessarily that they did a lot of adjusting. I thought the Niners did really good at adjusting when it came to James Conner was averaging 1.7 yards per carry in the first half, and then the defense started focusing, I guess, more on whatever, and then they just started to run. They saw the defense was soft, and then they started to run. And so, like, I don't know why we play. It's not a prevent defense, but when we have a lead, I don't know if you noticed, but the defense don't play as aggressive.
I know they don't.
So that
they just let up for some odd reason.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't understand why.
That's what I'm saying. So like it's easier to see the other teams make the adjustments, and maybe our team, maybe we just can't make the end game adjustments as quick, opposed to going in at half, being down, oh, this is what we got to do, blah 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 blah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like it's when they adjust, we struggle for some reason at tweaking our gameplay. I can't. The defense was bad. There's nothing I can say happy about the defense. I thought they were terrible. Nick Bosa had an interception. Oh well, shit didn't do nothing. Like, he got an interception. Like, the defense they literally gave up 160. Was it 69 yards? Kyler Murray had 83 yards.
There was no
86 yards.
Also, speaking of defense, there was no excuse for Kyler Murray getting that touchdown and running that back like that, because you are talking about defensive players that are used to Kyler Murray. We're not talking about a whole new defensive playing staff that you have out there that's on that line and in that area. Because Nick Bosa, yeah, love him to death. He's one of my favorite Buckeyes, but let me tell you something, Nick. That was bad today. You can't do that. You're a vet, and you're supposed to be, like, running that line. Like, you cannot do that. You can't let Kyler do that. You know what Kyler does, and you just cannot do it. I thought Nick, that was the bad play. That was the bad play because it was bad because it gave up the touchdown. Mm-hmm. So, but he adjusted. So Nick Bosa made the in-game adjustments. Nick Bosa wasn't bad all game. Nick Bosa, I don't know if you saw a couple of the other plays when he realized, oh, I'm the edge. I probably should contain. Yeah. And then that's when he realized, oh yeah. But once he made the adjustment, he was kind of like an unstoppable force. The pressures were just hard because you didn't know what Kyler was going to do with the ball, and that's the difference. He forces defenses to play 11 on 11. That was the whole purpose of getting a quarterback like, I'm not going to mention his name, but that didn't work out for us, right? Because you want defenses to play honest. When defenses don't have to play honest, right? They could cheat. They could play 10 on 11. They could put 8 people in the box. They could force you to do different things. I think with the 49ers is, just not having some of your key core pieces. Like, as much as I talk about missing Christian McCaffrey, Drake Greenlaw is the unsung hero of this 49ers defense, and he's just not there. He's not there. He's your fastest linebacker. He's your guy that keeps the edge, keeps it honest for these guys to get outside. He can chase down these quarterbacks. Like, him not being, and I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying the Niners are missing, like, a key core piece offensively to force defenses to play different, and a key piece defensively. Now, they got to figure it out, though. And that, to me, is the issue. Like, they got to figure out how to adapt, how to change. They got to figure it out. And maybe they just don't have the personnel. Maybe that's what it comes down. Maybe they're just not a better team without those players. And that's okay. Like, that's okay. And so they're going to have to try to find ways to figure out how to win more gritty games. See, I'm not in panic mode because the Niners season is far from over. So I'm not in that mode. I'm not worried either. I'm not worried. I'm just more concerned, like, are the players that are playing,
Will they eventually figure it out? Will they get better? Because that's all I care about. Because I can't remember the score with the Rams, but it was another close game, right? Wasn't it like 24-24?
It was really close.
27-24? 27-24?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that the score?
Yeah.
27-24?
Yeah, 3 points.
And this game was what?
1.
So they're getting better. I mean, if you look at it, like they're getting better, right? But I never said that. I never put out there that the Cardinals were a bad team. I just said that the Cardinals couldn't figure out how to win. Well, today they took advantage of their opportunities. The Cardinals. Let me tell you how bad the Cardinals were statistically, and you're gonna be even more mad. I can tell you that right now. You're gonna be even more mad because statistically they weren't great. They literally mirrored a lot of what the 49ers did. They did. But as far as on third down, we could talk trash about the 49ers third down defense all we want, but they only gave up 3. They went for it 10 times on third down. So the Niners defense was better. It's just there were moments where they just looked like they were tired, lost, gassed, missing, MIA. I don't know. It was just times. And everything wasn't on third down because you got to remember, Peachy, when the Cardinals said, "Oh, let's run the ball," they were getting 9 yards, 10 yards, 11 yards on first downs. So they didn't even get to third down on most of those times when they started to cook in that second half. So I didn't think the Cardinals had that much of a better game. I just feel like they didn't make as many mistakes. Was that my keys to victory? You can't make the mistakes. You can't make mistakes against a non-mistakable team. Like they were the best team in the NFL at not making mistakes.
Yeah.
They made one mistake and it only cost them 5 yards. I don't think it did anything.
Yeah.
We had 4, which is great. But it ain't great when you're going against a team that only got 1. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, the mistakes, man, like, that's another thing that the Niners just, you know, because we got to talk about Brock Purdy. We got to talk about these interceptions. Like, you can't let him off the wheel wagon because he threw 2 picks. Brock Purdy had an opportunity, in my opinion, to seal his name in 49er legacy. He had a minute and 32 seconds to be exact, to get his team into position to win the game. Can't blame it on Jake Moody because he didn't get the opportunity. Can't blame it on Mitch Wisnowski because he didn't get the opportunity. You know why? Because Brock threw an interception. And so, like, we got to talk about that too. And I love me some Brock. I think Brock is the best quarterback since Steve Young. He's the best quarterback we've had since Steve Young. If you feel like I'm leaving anybody out, oh well. But he can process really well. He has hella athleticism. I think the only thing where he struggles is just in his physical attributes that allows his passes to get blocked a lot at the line of scrimmage. I just feel like those little things, the little intangible things. But I think Brock is good. He just made some key mistakes at balls that got tipped and picked, right? Tipped and picked. That's what happened. Weren't both of his interceptions like tip passes in the air? They weren't. It's not like he threw it to the guy.
Right.
So, like, he was seeing the field. The defenses just made plays. And so, like, I don't know. Maybe that's why a lot of people are pissed off at the game plan. Why are we throwing so much? Why are we not running the ball more? Mm-hmm. I never understand. I don't understand how do we lose to the Rams and the Cardinals when they're literally the worst 2 teams in stopping the run?
Yeah. Which is another thing that I put on Kyle and his play calling. I don't understand. I know, Kyle's trying to get this team, like, I don't know, whatever, to focus on the pass more than the run. Maybe that's how he's trying to adjust without having McCaffrey. But when you're running the ball and it's effective, because Mason had some effective runs out there, just why you stopping? Just keep doing it. Keep doing it until you can't do it anymore. And that's not what happened. That is not what happened. That is not like that he stopped running the ball when something bad, like That's not what happened. He had already stopped running the football anyway, and he started throwing the ball. It's like, why are you doing that? Because Mason was looking good out there. It went from 2 yards a carry to like 6 point something yards a carry or something like that. I can't remember because it's so like wired right now. But why you do that? And why does he do that all the time? And this is what makes me feel like that he is not as bright as a lot of people really think that he is, or not anymore anyway, because it is literally common sense. We know if your running back is running the ball effectively, why you stopping? Because they couldn't do, like, literally, our O-line was blocking, our players were helping blocking, chip blocks, whatever, and he was running the football. It was ridiculous. It's like, so now you're just going to pass it. Like, what kind of point are you trying to prove here? Like, this team has to win football games. We have bigger aspirations than a lot of other teams do in this football league. There's a small, tiny group that is at that NFC Championship, Super Bowl, or bust. And we're one of them. So why in the hell does this coach continue to sabotage that? Because that is what he's doing. When you take the ball out of your running back's hands and it's effective, I just don't understand. Like, that's what frustrates me about him and pisses me off so bad. Like I said, you guys can call me or call her if you want to. I don't give a shit. I'm trying to tell you that this dude is either not as good as everyone thinks he is, and he's just masked behind Christian McCaffrey or Greenlaw or whatever it is that makes this team go. We need the coach to coach the players that he has to the best of his ability and to the best of their abilities. And he's not. And that's what the problem is right now, is that you are not doing that. And that's why you see these teams around the league who are missing all kinds of players and still busting out these wins because their coach is coaching to the players' abilities and what they have in front of them. And he's got to do that, and he is unable to do that. He couldn't do that last year when he had CMC, and we were missing Debo and Trent. The same shit. That's what's going on right now, basically, in a way, is we're missing someone on this offense, and you still can't pull out wins. And that's why I stand on what I said. We don't know if we're a good team or not because we ain't beat a good team yet. This is ridiculous. And I'm going to stand on it until we do.
I don't really care about being a good team. Like, the Niners just need to be the team that goes out there and finds a way to win, because not every team that wins is good. Some teams get lucky. Some teams take advantage of opportunities. This ain't about being good. This is about finding ways to win. And that's where the Niners are struggling. Like, they're struggling to find ways to win the games. I guess that matters the most. If we beat the Cardinals, we wouldn't be a good team because they're not a good team. Or are they a good team now because they won? What is it? Can't be both. Rams aren't a good team. If we would have beat them, we wouldn't have beat a good team. So, like, I think the Niners got to figure out who they are so that they can find ways to just win out these games. Because it's going to take every single player. Like, we know how football works. It's going to take every single player to put in and to contribute and do whatever. Like, it's not all on Brock. Brock just had the opportunity with his offense to get something done. Like, if Jordan Mason doesn't miss that block, that's a clean throw, and it's possibly a completion, and it's not a deflection, and we still might be having a game. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it's a whole bunch of stuff that factors in to why we're losing. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad or that they're good. It's just adversity ain't in our beating it ain't in our favor right now. And that's what, like, I'm at the point where I feel like this is only going to make you, I'm hoping that this is only going to make you stronger, tougher, and wiser. Now, I did not sit and watch the game and every time we ran, paid attention to how many people that they put in the box. I will say that most defenses defend the 49ers differently when they play the Niners. It's usually a stack of box, take away the run, force the quarterback to beat you. You don't see that when you watch any other game where they're stacking the box. You see a different type of defense. So when defenses play against us, it's usually 8 in the box, and Brock's been letting it rip. Like he's been letting it rip. He's been having time. We can't say the offensive line is bad if he's gotten time to throw the ball down the field. Like, everything's just got to find a way to come together and be better. And I think the only way they're going to do that is by continuing to play football and finding a way to grit out some of this stuff. They got to go through these growing pains. Because when you look at the offensive line, if you want to start there, like, you got a rookie on there. And yeah, he might be playing really good football, but he's still new, right? And I don't know how well he played today. I don't know. I really just didn't. I'm really, like, shocked that we lost, right? Because it seemed like everything was going in our favor. But that good old cliche freaking lose the turnover battle, lose the game. Like, you can't make that up. Like, that is like it's almost undefeated. But 1-3 ratio, we weren't going to win because we turned it over 3 times. And you would the energy, the block. You know, people want to talk about Isaac Yadam because he got beat on the one play. Can't be mad at Yadam for one play on how tall is Marvin Harrison Jr.? That ball was fucking floating in the air. Now, I want to say the N word. He went up and just reached up and grabbed it.
So crazy.
Like, I'm not mad at Yadam for that. It's not like he was definitely locking him down the majority of the game.
He 100% was, and I know that because I had Harrison on my Fanatics bet. And I was waiting on him to get up in the yards, and it wasn't happening. And then, you know, my son was like, "Well, Mama, that's because they got him covered. Like, he's locked. Like,
bro,
he's not doing
Harrison
nothing."
was targeted 7 times.
Exactly.
He had 2 receptions for 36 yards.
Yes, I know. Trust me.
So,
I
like,
40.
Yadam was on it, but at the end of the day, it was the one play that he just reached up and grabbed it. It was just floating in the air.
Yeah.
I don't even know how he got that ball off. Like, that's my thing. And you had Leonard Floyd, You had Leonard Floyd right in his face. And it was just a float. It was one of those, kind of like, you remember when that quarterback from Kansas City just threw the ball in the air?
Yeah.
And it just landed in Tyreek Hill's hand, kind of, sort of. It was that play, literally. The pressure was there. And they made a play. So, look, like I said, they had opportunities. They took advantage of the opportunities. I didn't think Yadam played bad. I just thought on that one play that he needed to make.
Yeah, I didn't either. I thought for the most part that Yadam was fine.
It was just one play. Like, he needed to have made that one play, which would have helped get the Niners the ball back a lot sooner. Look, it is what it is. Like, the Niners, Peachy said, we're not a good team. Cool. We're not a good team. We're just, that's her take. My take is we're lost. Like, we don't know our identity. I don't know if we're going to run the ball. I don't know if we're going to throw the ball. And I don't know if that's by design. Like, but I remember when we were a run the team ball first, and it didn't matter if Cats came out with 8 in the box. Their assignment was to find a way to stop the run. That ain't us. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why we just can't be that, still have that same type of bully ball mentality. Because when you run the ball, it sets up the play action pass, which we did twice in this whole game. Ain't no bootleg options to the right, no bootleg options to the left. It's literally Brock, hike, drop back. Brock, shotgun. Like there's no creativity. There's no delusion. Like I would like to see more play action pass. Mm-hmm. The first play of the game for the Arizona Cardinals, the first play of the game was a 22-yard pass and run, catch and run to their tight end. Okay? To their tight end. Their first play of the game for the Arizona Cardinals was a 22-yard pass, catch and run to Trey McBride. Do you know what the type of play was? It was a play action pass. Them motherfuckers didn't even run the ball yet, and they tried to play action pass. You know why? Because it tricked the 49ers defense, because on that second play, we thought they were passing. Yeah. And they came out and did the read option, and you get the touchdown run. Mm-hmm. Where's that? That to me?
Where's the creativity? Yeah.
Where's the creativity from Kyle Shanahan? I don't give a frick if you got what players you got. Every player is unique in their own way.
Yep.
As a head coach, your job is, yes, to get them to run your plays, but your job is to figure out what you can tap into.
Yes.
To me, that's what separates Kyle Shanahan from these other coaches. If Andy Reid didn't let go of the training wheels on Patrick Mahomes, we would never know what Patrick Mahomes would be like. He would probably be a bad quarterback. But I don't even think Patrick Mahomes' persona would listen to Andy Reid, and they would have issues. They would have issues. I think, for me, like, I need Brock Purdy to just stop being this yes man and just go out there and play fucking football. Right, Brock, you are on the field. So if I don't care if you got a contract or not, like, if Brock did that, I bet you they'll win more gritty games.
To me, it just feels like that the creativity must have left with Slowick and the rest of them that were here, because that's kind of what is going on in Houston right now. And that's why they're able to get these gritty games. They lost their best wide receiver, Nico Collins, and they still found a way to win this game. They literally have like a running back and a half. That's all they have right now. So really what they've got is almost mirroring what we have as far as what their deficits are on offense.
Yeah, but they got different types of players, though. That's not fair. Like, C.J. Stroud got a strong arm and throws the ball down the field. Brock doesn't. That's totally different. So, like, they're built different. Like, and the players make the system work a little bit different. I didn't see much creativity from the Houston game, but you just have a different type of quarterback in C.J. Stroud.
But
like,
he's
not a guy that's going to scramble and extend plays and do all that stuff. That's where Brock comes in. Like, he has a little bit more mobility. But CJ, on that play where he lost Nico, 67-yard bomb. Brock ain't throwing no 67-yard bomb down the field. They built different. You know what I mean? But they did find out a way to grit it out because they had a kicker. I bet you if the Niners had a kicker, they would have won this game.
What I'm talking about isn't talking about how that they seem to play more to the players' strengths of what they do. And that's one thing that I have a problem with Kyle on, because I don't feel like that they do. I feel like their Brock Purdy is well-versed in this offense enough to be able to control some of this offense and to do things that he wants to do and that he sees out there. And, I mean, he's not perfect, but hell, there's no quarterback in this league that is perfect. Not even the great Pat Mahomes. He's got like 6 or 7 picks already, all on him, like his fault. All I'm trying to say is that it seems that a lot of these other offenses have a lot more freedom. Kyle just needs to like get the stranglehold off and let these guys go out there and win these damn games, because at the end of the day, if you have, I mean, I don't know. Whatever. I'm good.
I'm like Purdy is somewhat limited because he lacks certain characteristics as other quarterbacks. You got to remember, Purdy was a 7th round pick sought after the San Francisco 49ers. CJ Stroud was a 1st round pick. That's what makes them different. But Purdy has intangibles and things that makes him who he is. I just feel like Kyle's not that type of a coach. And so like if Kyle's not that type of a coach, that's the difference. So like these other coaches are a little bit more like, it's not about just catering to the strengths of their players. They just trust their players. Let's just use the word trust. So like that's what it is. And so like Kyle is still in that stage where like if you do this and he does this and this does this and this, it's a play. And I just think football is not like that anymore. And it's just, and that's that, to me, that's the issue. I think Kyle is so like stuck to a plan to where like he can't go off the script. And if it goes off the script, he's not willing to accept that. And that's why I think you see stuff. That's why everything seems so stagnant. Everything seems so predictable. Like, how is it that they know what we're doing? So you mean to tell me that Kyle Shanahan, the genius play caller, at this point, he's been play calling for umpteen years. And if he's not changing up anything, why is it that the defenses know the play before we run the play? Common sense means that that's just Kyle Shanahan not calling, not changing up what he needs to do to be better. If every year the defenses are going to get better, right? Every year the defenses are going to have different pieces. They're going to have different, ways that they execute, things like that. Well, Kyle needs to have different ways to execute. All right, if this option ain't working here, I'm going to need you to, we could switch this up a little bit and you could go here. Hey, Brock, if you don't see something, go ahead and ad-lib, try to make a play. Stop. I don't know if Kyle's worried about his players getting injured, going off script or what, but you can see, to me, PG, that's the key difference between Kyle as a head coach and some of these other coaches that we watch as head coaches. It's not that Brock can't do certain things. I just don't think Kyle Shanahan trusts him to do certain things. Kyle wants the guy he can mold and goes out there and do what Kyle asks. And I think that's the issue. I'm hoping it changes. But to me, that's what it seems like. And so like I think Brock is getting a little bit more free reign. You're seeing him scramble a little bit more. You're seeing him extend plays a little bit more. You're seeing him cam plays a little bit more. So you're seeing the trusting work. I just think certain plays, certain designs, certain personnels, I think the teams are just hip to the game. It's like studying for a test and you already know the answers.
It really, it literally has started over the last couple of weeks. I think I said this to one of my friends or whatever. It kind of reminds me of when Chip Kelly was here. Whenever
nothing reminds us of when Chip Kelly was here, Peachy. This can't be nowhere near close to what Chip
everybody Kelly. The one thing that they said about him was that he was too predictable and that everything that he was doing was like college ran, because college, you only have just a couple of different plays and that's it. And that's what Chip Kelly had. The way that we look against these teams, it seems like that when it gets down to the wire, that's exactly what we look like.
We look like what?
And that's why we can fucking predictable.
Oh, yeah.
Like easy. Like just out there, Kyle's got this big ass freaking playbook and nothing comes out. I saw nothing today that was out of the ordinary that we did today. Nothing. There was absolutely nothing that we did that was out. Now, whether he's saving that for Thursday against Seattle, I don't know, but nothing. Zero creativity. Like, there's no excuse for not scoring any points in the second half. Like, none. It is horrible. It is absolutely horrible.
But that's not all on Kyle. That's my point. That's not all on him. You can't sit there and say that that's on him when he got the team down to the freaking red zone, end zone, and they couldn't score. I didn't say
it was all on him.
But that's my point. You can't.
He's the coach.
He's
so
the coach,
it's gotta be on him.
If the players don't fucking execute, how's it all on him? If I get you to the goal line and you can't get in the goal, you can't get in there, that ain't Kyle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, part of it could be Kyle,
That's one
but the
play.
players at the end of the day got to
That's what I'm
execute.
saying.
You're not saying
That's
that.
what
You're
I
saying it's
said.
all on him. You just
I
said
didn't
it was
fucking
all
say
on
that
him.
it was all on Kyle. That's not what I said.
You just said that. What the fuck are you listening to yourself? You just said it was all on him, which made me say it ain't all on him. You just said it.
I just said it has to be on him because he's a coach. I didn't say that it was all on him.
Okay, Peachy. At the end of the day, players still got to execute. Like that, to me, is the bigger issue. If the coach we say that the coach got to put the players in the proper situations, right? Well, Kyle put you at the motherfucking 3-yard line. What happened? False start. Holding, a legal procedure, tampering, like you just like it be dumb shit. And then when it become 1st and 37, what play call gonna work on 1st and 37? Somebody tell me a 1st and 37 play. It's just there's just not. And so like Does Kyle? Here's what I would like from Kyle: be accountable, put it on you, and get your players' asses in the practice, and start figuring shit out. That's what I would love from Kyle. But we know I know that ain't Kyle Shanahan. That it's gonna be on. Ray McLeod missed the block. He ain't even on this team, Kyle. Like, just take the accountability. And just take it for once on the chin and say, yeah, I messed up. But that's not going to be Kyle. We know that. So Kyle's going to look for the blame. It's going to come down to players not executing, which it always does. Always comes down to the players not executing. It just does, Peachy.
Where was Debo? Why wasn't he more involved in this damn offense today?
Maybe they took him out.
Was that Debo's fault?
If they're defending you and you're not, if they're defending you and you're not open, you want me to force the ball to you?
Then you need to figure out because Debo.
It don't work like that.
Things.
Just like we took fucking Marvin Harrison out of the game.
Debo can come out the backfield.
Oh my God!
He's not just a receiver like we literally know.
You're not getting it, yo. Like teams game plan for certain pieces, right? And so yeah. Debo ran the ball. He had a couple of good runs. I thought he had a couple of good runs, but that ain't all what we were trying to do with Debo, right? And so they utilized Debo, but I think they game plan for Debo. Why do you think Brandon Ayuk was fucking feasting? Like, they literally said, we're going to take away the explosive piece and then give up nothing deep. Nothing was deep. And they let Ayuk cook underneath. Whereas, how did we defend Marvin Harrison? We took him out, right? We literally said, you're not beating us down the field. If you do anything, you're going to catch the ball underneath. And we're going to limit the yak because we're going to be there to make the tackle. 2 catches, 7 targets. I mean, let me just see how many times Debo was even targeted in this game. Because he was utilized. 3 targets, 1 reception for 11 yards. He was more utilized as a running back. I think that's part of the way the Cardinals game plan. They weren't going to let Debo cook. They let Kittle cook. They let Ayuk cook, and Ayuk couldn't even get in the end zone. So at the end of the day, you can't say it's on. Why didn't we game plan for Debo? Maybe he wasn't part of this game plan because remember, I always say take what the defense is giving you. Like, that's what Brock was doing. That's why I'm not super mad at Brock. The person I'm mostly mad at is Jordan Mason for fumbling that ball. I ain't going front. That was the game. In my opinion, that was the game. I don't care about the interceptions. That play right there would have sealed the deal. Even if we would have took the ball down to the 1-yard line and failed, they still had to go 99. I'd rather much watch that, but not the fumble. Because with the fumble, not only you're giving them the ball, you just gave them momentum. And didn't they have the ball on a 9? So you mean what's 9 and 91? They still had to go a long way. You could blame Kyle, which I'm with it, but I'm gonna blame the players for not executing when they needed to execute. The players failed too. So if the coaches failed, the players failed, the team failed, they lost. That's what happened. It's what we're watching. I just don't understand how you get a bonus We have crapped on this special teams unit, and you get a bonus from your special teams. And believe it or not, that was the only thing that was giving the Niners life. Because 1 for 6 in the red zone ain't gonna get it. You know what I mean?
Yep, gotcha. Mm-hmm.
It's just that's just what I saw. So it is what it is. Kyle got to be better. Y'all can shit on Kyle all y'all want, but the motherfucker ain't out there running the plays. Like, he ain't the guy on the field. So yeah, does he got to call better plays? For sure. We just don't know which plays got to be better. Why? Because we watching the game and we're like, oh, he should have ran it. Oh, he should have whatever. But we ain't even watching what the defense is doing. We just know that the defense is stopping it. Now we need to look at how the defense is lined up. And maybe that's why that play call was that call. Why players can't execute the plays, that should be our discussion. Why are they failing to execute? That's what I want to know. Can anybody tell me that? Does anybody know the answer to that? Peachy, you got the answer why the players can't execute?
Nope, I don't know that. The only thing that I do know is that it's definitely it's time for us to look at Sorensen a little bit different on some of these defensive schemes and things that he comes up with and the position that he's got his defensive players in. It's time to do that. I don't know when because Wilkes, defense are looking crazy and people started, giving Wilkes side eyes and stuff. And this is week 5. Now we're going into week 6. And it's time for us to start a conversation about Sorensen.
All right, so I'm going to jump on the bandwagon. No, I'm not. Y'all could kiss my ass. I don't think Kyle got to go. Y'all could think Kyle got to go because y'all stupid as fuck. But Kyle don't got to go. Kyle just need to figure shit out. That's what it comes down to. So, Peachy could be right. That's fine. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, Kyle Shanahan need to figure his team out. This is his team. Those are his players, and they can't execute when they asked to. I think that's more the issue. We worried about a play call, and Kyle can't get his players to fucking run the ball in. Kyle can't get his players to throw a good pass. His players can't get open. That's Kyle's fault? So you saying that Kyle got to scheme his players open on every play? That ain't how football works. It ain't. It ain't always scheme. You need to get better players. If you ain't got players, you got to keep scheming. I remember there was a time where people would say, we need better route runners. We need better players, because our players always got to be schemed to be open. Now that the defenses are hip to that, now it's Kyle's fault. So, got to get the right. Maybe it's the personnel. Maybe it's the type of receivers that we have. Why Brock has to hold the ball so long because they're not open. It's not always going to be scheme because if a defense comes out and is prepared for your scheme, PG, if I know your game plan, if you gave me a test, right, but I had the answers to your test, I'm going to ace the test. But if you change the test on me, I'm going to be like, oh, shoot. That's on Kyle. Like, Kyle has to change the test. And that, to me, is my issue with Kyle Shanahan. He's not able to change the test. For some reason, he feels like his test is going to work. Mm-hmm. But if they know the answers, that's where Kyle's got to be better. So it's not just about play calling. It's literally about changing and adjusting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that I agree with you with. But at the end of the day,
my biggest pet peeve with him is that he seems to just not adjust because he just stays so stuck in his ways that he just keeps pressing and just, it's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. But you can't keep doing that through games. You can't keep doing that. It's going to start getting too late really fast.
Too late, you said?
Really fast as far as, us to do anything this year. If we don't start winning games.
You know what I don't get?
If we keep losing games, then it's gonna start getting bad.
I'm all for moving on from Kyle Shanahan. If you know what I'm saying, what my biggest issue with Kyle is I don't think he's able to handle pressure. You know what I mean? Like, I think pressure is what bursts him. And so you got certain defensive coordinators that are going to bring pressure. Like, he struggles. Now, I don't think that the Cardinals did anything exotic today.
No, they didn't.
I really think that Kyle Shanahan's players didn't execute. And because of the turnovers, it gave the Cardinals the opportunities to score. Like that's kind of, I mean, even if you didn't watch the game and you were just a stat watcher, you're saying, oh, 3 turnovers to 1, I got you. Like you get what I'm saying? Like that right there is the story. Now, were there some busted plays on defense? Yep. Were there some poorly executed plays on offense? Yep. But then there's still the factor line that Kyle's team turned the ball over offensively 3 times, which all led to scoring drives. So that's the difference. So and then they were all, then they were like all in the red zone. So it's just like, damn. That's why I'm like, yo, like Kyle. As much as we blame Kyle Shanahan, it's like, dude, I couldn't give you the ball. I couldn't gift you more of an opportunity to capitalize off of it, and we just couldn't capitalize off the opportunities. Like that's just what it came down to. Like, and that's where maybe looking at a brighter side, that's where maybe they figure it out later on. I think the Niners are still in a position where they're not out of anything yet, and they're hoping that they get certain players back. They're hoping a bunch of stuff, but we're hoping that they continue to find ways to win. I think the thing you said earlier at the very beginning of the show, the top of the show, was we're not at the meat of the schedule yet, but we don't know where those teams are going to be like then. Like, we don't know how difficult those teams are going to be when we got to play the Bills. We just watched the Bills get beat by the Houston Texans in a showdown. What if that's how our game goes? Like, we don't know. I think what we just need to do is figure out ways to stay in the mix, stay in the hunt. I think that's the Niners team this year. I think the team from the Niners this year is just finding a way to stay afloat, stay relevant, stay this, stay that, and then know when to attack. You know, last year, what did we do? we were dominant last year, right? We looked like we were the dominant team. You know what I'm saying? We ain't that same team. We don't have the same players. We don't even have some of the same coaches. So we got to I think the Niners just got to figure out what their identity is going to be, and they got to find ways to make adjustments. So if everybody wants to shit on Kyle, be my guest. Then y'all shot prerogative, though. Just find me a replacement, though. Who's going to be the coach for the 49ers? I'm just curious to know. That's it. Just let me know who's going to come in and be the coach. Because it's easy to find these faults. For us, it's easy to find them. For some reason, the coaches, whoever it is, they're not seeing it the way we see it. And they're not going to. And they don't give up. They don't care. Like, they don't care at the end of the day. So, players, I'm charging the game to the players because they made the mistakes. That's me. If you want to charge the game to the coach, Peachy, be my guest. But at the end of the day, damn, I don't know how you could get there 6 times to come up with 1 touchdown. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. That's real crazy. And you could blame the play calling. You could blame it. You could say we should have ran it. We should have did this. We should have. That's cool. At the end of the day, they didn't execute it, though. I know that. No matter what the play was called, the team didn't score a touchdown. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. What a great show, man. It got heated up in here. That's what overreacting is going to do. Everybody sees the game from a different lens. Is Kyle the guy? We don't know. We ain't never win with him yet. But, you know, I just know that the team had the opportunities to win this game, and they failed. How will they be when they go on the road with Seattle? Well, stay tuned because we'll find out. We'll be back tomorrow night. I'll make sure you guys know the time. I don't know it as of yet. Hopefully we'll have the 4 crew here. If not, I know Peachy and I'll be good to go. It's going to be a great show. Peachy, any final thoughts before we dip up out of here?
We had a short week. Seattle, Thursday night. Prime time. So let's hope that players or whatever they do to get ready for these short games, these short span games.
Love you too, bro.
It's going to be crazy to see how this goes. But all I know is that it's a must-win game. I do know that much. And anybody who doesn't think so is crazy. That's just my opinion. And there might be a lot of people that might be like, it's whatever. 49ers are going to get their players back and they're going to go on this nice long run. I just hope there's enough time for us to be able to do that. That's it. I'm spent.
Is time still on our side, though?
Right now it is.
Good. So we got time. So let's see what happens. We get this win. Winning cures everything. So you beat the Seahawks. Beating the Seahawks is like everything. Like that's one team because they just did us dirty. Like losing to the Cardinals, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Stovey, Moody out. High ankle sprain, right? He's going to be out for a while.
He's going
to be out for a while.
The 49ers will be looking to bring in some kickers.
They're going to be bringing in some kickers, and we'll definitely keep you updated. Hopefully we'll have some stuff tomorrow when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. Tough loss. Just tough loss. This was a bad. I think this loss was worse than the Rams.
It was. It absolutely was. You were right about that. That we do agree on.
Wow. Well, guys, find a way to stay faithful, man. If you can, if not, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't. The good news is, the bright side is, we're only 5 games in, and they lost 3 of them. The Niners can find a way to get. They could figure. Here's the thing: if the Niners can figure out who they are with who they have, just like they could be somebody different when you get certain pieces back. But right now, they got to play with who they have. If they could figure out who they are with who they have, I feel like they could find a way to be all right. It starts with winning on the road on Thursday Night Football. We'll have mad shows, mad coverage, all that good stuff. Guys, until then, we out this joint, man, because my voice hurts. We'll see you tomorrow night. Nitty Gritty Niners Talk. Thanks for watching.
Hey.
Breezie, gritty, this that Niners
Mo's
talk.
Nose. Peachy,
this that Niners
it's about that time, everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's Nose, Peachy, Breezy, and Fair to God. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you Niner Talk. We 2 gorillas, silverback, nah, silver
You know
hawks.
it's busting the discussion cause we get it in. Every time, we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win. The faithful going hard. It's Wayne, Breezy, Peachy, Mo's Nose, and Fair to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, this the Niners talk. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the Niners talk.
We outline players up in chalk.
Nitty gritty, this the Niners talk. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the Niners talk.
Niners talk.
Nitty gritty, this the Niners talk.